Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Hello. Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and also via Skype. Each one of you is welcome to this morning's live streaming. Love and respect. What is the difference between love and respect? We do not find any difference between the two. Love is your nature, and respect is the food for ego. Love is your nature and respect is the food for ego. Respect is ugly, love is beautiful, natural and spontaneous. Ego demands respect. Being never demands respect, instead it manifests love. Being manifests love. Respect is the outcome of desire. Love is your nature. Respect is the food for ego. Love is the food for being, for soul, for ruh. Respect depends on others. Love is freedom. Love depends on you. Respect depends on others. Love depends on you. Love depends on you. Respect is worldly. Love is divine. Respect is extrovert. Love is introvert flow. Respect requires external qualities. You must have the external qualities to command respect. Love requires intrinsic values. That is the basic difference between the two. Love is introvert. Respect is extrovert. Respect requires external qualities and love requires intrinsic values. Different, not the quality, instead values. And you want to know, how do I get respect from other people? You still hanker for respect. Love, not respect, is the way of transformation. Love, not the respect, is the way of transformation. Respect is desire and is not a good desire. Respect is a wrong desire, and if you follow your whole life, and if you follow it, follow respect, your life will become a desert. If you follow it your whole life, instead of respecting, ask how to get love from people, not respect. Respect is ugly, love is beautiful, and there is a vast difference between love and respect. When somebody loves you, he is not humiliated. Instead, he stands equal to you. Love gives you equality. Respect means you are higher, holier, and the other is who is respecting you is lower than you, maybe a sinner. Never ask for respect from anyone, because that means you are condemning the person. You are bringing him to a lower level. Even if people give you respect, you will never feel nourished by it, because respect is the synthetic food, not natural, not spontaneous. Because respect is synthetic food and love is the real food, because it is the nourishment for the soul, for qalb, for ruh. Love is the real food. Love nourishes. The need is for love, not respect. You are misunderstood by your desires. You are misinterpreting your heart. You need love, just as one needs food, not respect. Love will nourish you. Even if people give you respect, you will never feel nourished by it, because respect is synthetic food and love is the natural food. Love nourishes. The need is for love, not respect. Just as body depends on food, soul depends on love. Love is energy, the spontaneous overflow from within. Instead, body depends on food, soul depends on love. Indeed, love is risky and respect has no risk in it. Because in love you have to put everything at stake. Love is dangerous because to get love, you have to give love. You have to have the reservoir of love, and from there it begins to overflow. Only when the cup is full, then it begins to overflow. If the cup is empty or half full, there will not be any overflow. Love is the spontaneous overflow from within. It is flow of the energy. Sufis call it tawajjuh. Tawajjuh of the Sheikh is the manifestation of the love. Manifestation of inner harmony that overflows as love. You will have to, in order to gain love, you have to love. You have to remain loving. A loving person is always in danger. There is insecurity, because love is a kind of madness. It is a kind of intoxication. Where will it lead? Nobody knows. Love is a wild phenomenon. Respect is comfortable. And in respect, you need not give love. Remember, in respect, you need not give love. You just have to create a certain qualities which people think are respectable, and you are given respect. If you are true to your words and people, if you are true to your words, people will respect you. You have to be consistent in your character, in your behavior, and people will respect you. You have to be dependable because people will have to respect you. In short, you have to be predictable to be respected by the people. If you are predictable, you will command respect. Now, these things you can do on your own. You need not get involved with anybody. You can develop your character, you can develop the certain qualities, you can create armor around you, you can be very consistent. Although consistent people are very mediocre, but you are consistent. And the mediocre get respect. The more mediocre you are, the more possibility exists for you to gain respect. The genius is always in danger. Jesus was not respected by people. Indeed, Jesus was not respected by the people. And that is why he was insulted, not respected, and finally he was crucified. If he was loved, there was no need for crucifixion. Jesus had no desire to be consistent. He has no desire to be respectable. He was non-calculating, not cunning at all. He simply lived his life lovingly and got into trouble that cost him his life. He lived his life lovingly, and because he was living the life lovingly, he got into trouble and finally he was crucified. He was just 33. Imagine when he was crucified. He had not even lived his youth. He was just growing, but he lived a life of rebellion. Love is rebellious. Socrates was not respected. He was loved by a few people and hated by many, but he was not respected. Otherwise they should not have poisoned him. Down the ages, whenever there is an intelligent man, people do not like him. Intelligence is always rebellious. Intelligence is always rebellious. It happened once. I was staying with my mother's cousin, uncle. He had two small boys. The younger one would have been maybe 7 or 8, but he was very mischievous. Everyone had a complaint that he was very mischievous. So I asked him one day, why do you make so much mischief that causes trouble to the others and everyone has to point fingers at you? He said, brother, if a little children will not make mischief, who else do you expect to make mischief? अगर बच्चे शरारत नहीं करेंगे तो कौन करेगा? If the children do not make mischief, who else do you expect to make mischief? This was a rebellious response, a very intelligent one. There was no answer to this response. Down the ages, whenever there is an intelligent man, people do not like him because his very intelligence brings the future and people cling to the past. His very intelligence disrupts the social order. The conformed and the conventional and the traditional are in danger because of his presence. Jesus' presence was a rebellion to the existing norms, values, and traditions of the society at that time. The life of Osho was a rebellion, was a danger to the fundamentalists, the Christian fundamentalists, and that became the cause of disruption. If you want to be respectful and be respected, you have to settle with the past. You will have to do what people want you to do. If you continue to do what people want you to do, you will gain respect. You will have to do what people want you to do, then you cannot do your own things. If you want to do your own things, then nobody knows you. You are a rebellion. But only by doing your things, you will be happy. You will gain satiation. Respectable people are never happy. Indeed, they are a miserable lot. They are miserable. How can they be happy? They have never been true to themselves. They are carrying a mask. They have to do things to please others in order to gain respect. They have never been true to themselves. They have always been looking into people's eye, waiting for hints how to act in a particular situation. If people want this, they will do that. And that gives the birth to a politician. The politician is continuously thinking of how to be respected by the society, by the people. Respected by the society, by the people. He has to commit suicide of his soul. He has to die to his own being. Only then he can become respectable. And that makes him a hypocrite. He has to pretend. Therefore, never ask such questions from an awakened one. Questions like these will lead you into death, not into life. My role is towards life, how life should pulsate through you. How you can be more fulfilling and abundant life manifests through you. Love is a value. Respect is not value at all. And I'm not saying that if you love, people will not respect you. If you love, people will not respect you. I'm not saying that at all. A few people will respect you. If you are loving, few people will respect you. People who are really intelligent will respect you, but that is not your desire. It is just a spin-off. It's a response. That is not your motive, and you are not searching for it. It just happens the more loving you are, people respect you. But the people who respect you, they are of a totally different breed. A few people respected Jesus, respected him as a god, and a few respected Socrates also, and they never respected anybody else. A few people will respect you, but that should not be your motive, not your intention. See the point. If you are loving, you are living your life your own way, then only a few people will respect you. If you are living your life the way you think it should be lived, you are courageous, you are living your own life, then a few people will respect you. Indeed, these are the few people whose respect has a value, whose respect is valuable, because they are intelligent, rebellious, artistic, and talented. People who are really alive will respect you. Their respect means something. If you are loving, the respect of an intelligent person means something. But the respect of the crowd has no meaning. Politicians require the respect from the crowd. People who are really alive will respect you. Their respect will be meaningful. It will mean something. And if you ask for respect, then many people will respect you, but their respect has no meaning in it, no value in it, because they do not mean anything. Really, they do not mean anything. So simply do not entertain the desire for respect. Let it be destroyed in the beginning. Kill it in the bud. Otherwise, you will be moving towards a politician. You will be desiring respect. And that is the distinction I make. That is the distinction that exists between politics and religion. A religious person lives his own life. I am talking about religion in the true sense, religion in the sense of Buddhas, not religion in the sense of priests. The religion of the priest is totally different. To continue his business. The distinction I make between politics and religion. A religious person lives his own life as guided by his being, his energy field. If people feel it is good, they will respect him. And those who feel it is not good, they will disrespect him. But that is not any consideration. That is their problem. If they disrespect him, that is their problem. It is their perception. They are expecting to be, they're expecting something. I live life as guided by the innerness. Now it is your problem whether you respect me or not, whether you love me or not. It is not my consideration. How many people listen to this live streaming is not my concern. Even if one person listens is more than enough. If nobody listens, the flower continues to blossom. Flower is not blossoming because so many people are watching it. So many people are passing in front of it. Blossoming is the nature of the flower because it cannot be otherwise. So too is the case with an awakened one. He blossoms, the innerness blossoms, the candle is lit, the inner lamp is lit, its light must manifest. It does not matter whether you notice it or not. Sometimes it happens your headlights are on, and certain cars that are coming now, the headlights are never turned on or turned off. The moment you switch on the engine, the headlight comes on. During the day, headlights are still on, but you do not see the light. It is only in the darkness that you see the light. It does not matter. It is the way the cars are made. So the flower blossoms out of his own fulfillment. Something has been satiated within its womb. The inner joy or the beauty starts manifesting in the outer atmosphere as beauty and the fragrance. A candle is lit. Your innerness is lit. Its beauty and the fragrance will start manifesting. I live, an awakened one lives his life as guided by his being. Now it is your problem whether you respect him or not. Whether you love him or not, that is secondary. A few people will love him. Never be concerned with respect. Otherwise, you will be too worried about your character. You will start imbibing traditional qualities that you may command respect. An awakened one teaches you rebellion. Rebellion is the first criteria to be loving. And love is the freedom. It is the life of intrinsic value. A really free man has no character. When I say no character, that does not mean you are characterless. His character is not guided by the social values and norms. Instead, it is guided by his own inner awakening. Character means you are living out of memory or imagination. Character is preconceived idea. Each moment he responds differently. When you look at the pauris, the compositions of Nanak, as someone comes in, he asks a question and he begins to respond. Krishna is inconsistent in his behavior, in his responses to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. But it is the philosopher, it is the thinker who finds a link, connection between the statements of Krishna and tries to seek consistency. In the statement of an awakened one, there is never a consistency because he is not teaching you any philosophy. Character means you are living out of memory or imagination. Character is preconceived idea. Awakened one responds to the moment differently. He does not carry a character or a program in his head. His head is not a program. Also, he does not consult the programmed memory to respond to you. A situation arises and he responds to it spontaneously. This is the essence of intelligence. He is not responsible because he does not have the ability to respond to the situation without any preconception. He responds out of his totality. He is responsible because he has the ability to respond to a particular situation, and that is the capacity, the ability, the quality to respond to a particular situation. If a situation arises, he is not going into the scripture. What does Krishna says? What does Christ have said? What did Holy Prophet have said? What did Buddha have said? And he responds out of that. He is responsible, he is capable of responding because he has the ability to respond to the situation without any preconceived conception. He responds with his totality, but certainly not according to a certain idea that he has been carrying of how one should behave. And that is the problem arises. A Muslim expects the awakened one to respond in correspondence, in harmony with Holy Quran. Hindu seeks in his response the message of Bhagavad Gita. The situation that existed at the time of Arjun is different than it is now. He responds to that situation which is existing now. He is not interested in anything otherwise. He behaves in this moment, next moment, when it comes, he will respond accordingly, differently. He has no permanent decision, idea, or way to respond. He does not live out of conclusions. Each moment is given its total freedom. Life decides. He has no blueprint that he should do this and should say or should be like this according to this blueprint. He has no shoulds, no commandments to follow. He looks into life and lets it happen. He looks into life and lets it happen. And there is no repentance. He never feels guilty because he is responding to the situation. Because there is no idea to make him feel guilty. I can make you joyous. I can make you loving. Certainly, I cannot make you respectful. Cultivate the qualities of lovingness. Cultivate the quality of being happy in every circumstance and situation. Certainly, I cannot make you respectful because respect is a dirty 7-letter word. Respect has 7 letters. 7 is holy, but respect is an exception from being holy. 7 is a mystical number, a holy. Respect is also a 7-letter word, but it is an exception to being holy. Love is a spontaneous overflow of energy from within, the joy, the blissfulness from within. Love nourishes your being. When being is nourished, something overflows, you are loving. Respect is demanded. Respect is the food for ego. Decide which you want to nourish, your ego or the being. If you nourish your being, then you are on the religious journey. Respect, not. Do not expect respect. Live your life lovingly, totally. Much will happen out of that. You need to live your life totally so that you are fulfilled within, and when you are fulfilled within, many things happen. Love is natural and spontaneous. It is the food for the being. Respect is synthetic food. It nourishes your ego, your nafs. Only this much for this morning. Until then, take care. So long then to you.